On this episode, we just talk about newsy stuff.
Hey, what's going on with you?
What's up? How you doing?
Yeah, hi.
Welcome to Save Every Universe. My name is Alec Garcia. I am a scientist girl with a cool semi-automatic rifle, and I've got more story to tell. If only making content wasn't so hard.
My name is Robbie. I'm an operator of an advanced defense network that must stop an endless onslaught from destroying the 6 cities under my supervision.
I saw that on your notes, and I cannot for the life of me figure out what that is. I'm very curious to see what that is.
You won't get this one.
Yeah.
This one's a little out of my normal wheel bag.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Good for you for spreading your little wings. Getting outside
huge.
The nest a little bit.
You should see the size of my wings. Are huge.
That's what he tells everybody.
Yeah.
They're not that big.
Who were you last week?
Last week I was Banjo the Bear from Banjo-Kazooie, which is just a freaking awesome game. I hadn't thought about that game in a long time, but I actually played that game probably as much or more than Mario 64 on the N64.
Yeah, it was that same style, almost Metroidvania-ish, right? Where you had to unlock abilities.
It had like the different open, it had multiple open worlds. But yeah, the more jiggies you collected from the different worlds, you would unlock a new thing, and
it reminded me a lot of Donkey Kong Country as well.
Yeah, similar.
You got different Kongs or whatever, and could gain access. But yeah, that was a great game.
Yeah, it really was. Who were you last week?
Last week, you guessed it was somebody from Overwatch. I was Genji from Overwatch.
Yeah, see? Yeah. You gotta cut it. I'm glad you branched out, dude. You've been doing Overwatch for like 10 weeks straight.
I haven't done it 10 weeks straight. It's an easy one if I don't know who to pick.
Yeah, you just spin the wheel.
Exactly. I can always just grab somebody from Overwatch. Yeah. And so that one was like a last minute. We were about to record and I went, oh shit, I forgot to pick somebody, so I did Genji. Not this time though.
I'm very excited to hear who you are next week.
Oh, I'll tell you right now.
Spoilers, dude. So today we're changing it up a little bit. We kind of wanted to, we've been doing the podcast for almost 70 episodes, something like that. And we realized it might be kind of fun to just do like sort of a news, like what's happening in gaming sort of episode and talk about it. I mean, we're going to be going back to like more specific research topics kind of thing. But we just wanted to change it up and, just rap about what's happening right now. Cause there's some pretty interesting stuff happening now leading up to E3 and, just shoot the shit. What do you have on the docket today?
Yeah. There really are some interesting topics, and I mean, I don't normally like do the newsy thing, but there was actually quite a few things I thought it would be interesting to talk about on the podcast, and we kind of found ourselves gravitating towards that anyway.
Yeah, and this isn't going to be like breaking news. We have the exclusive. It's going to just be more like us,
our perspective.
Yeah, if you're a listener and you like this format, we're just going to rap a little bit about what's going on right now.
Yeah, so we're definitely open to any feedback too. If you like this format or hate it,
yeah, for sure.
Whatever, you can always reach us at saveeveryuniverse@gmail.com.
Or you could leave it in the form of a 5-star review on iTunes. Anyway. So the first big news piece that is kind of awesome, well, depending on who you are, because I'm pretty not super sensitive to spoilers, actually. If someone's like, oh, I don't want to spoil it, I'm like, just tell me. I'm going to play it and I'll like it or I won't. Yeah. I'm that kind of guy. So Wal-Mart in Canada leaked out all of or a good chunk of the games that are supposed to be announced at E3. They assigned them SKUs and they just put them up for the world to see.
Right.
Amongst those being a new Splinter Cell game, Borderlands 3, Halo 6, a new Assassin's Creed, which I was like, when I first heard that piece, I was like, so what? It's another Assassin's Creed. But that's actually quite interesting on the back of Origins, where they took 2 years to like really get it right.
If it's true, right?
If it's true.
Because a lot of this is still like unverified or
they're going to announce it at E3 and it's like coming 2019 or whatever. Yeah.
But yeah, if they are coming out with another Assassin's Creed, it's odd that they're so they came out with Origins, which was great and pretty well received. I actually didn't play it, but you loved it.
Fantastic game.
Really well received. You'd think they'd be like, cool, this is our new thing.
Yeah. We're going to take more time on each installment, but yeah, I hope it's not like, cool, we got to win in the column there. Like, now let's go back to our old formula and just fuck it up.
I hope not.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not for sure. What's kind of interesting too is the bigger picture of like what this means, right? Because people are taking it kind of differently. Some people are excited, some people are mad. Yeah. Developers, some of them are pissed.
Well, so like the one that stood out to me where I was like, oh, that's unfortunate. Even because I think people who are fans of the series like kind of saw it coming was Splinter Cell, and there was some cool, fun speculation around after they did the crossover in Ghost Recon Wildlands where Sam Fisher was there. It was like, are they going to or aren't they? And there was like this fun conversation and kind of Christmas morning anticipation of will there be a Splinter Cell at this year's E3? Is that what this is leading up to? Gosh, I hope so.
Right.
That was cool, and now it's a little bit spoiled. And for the most part, I don't care about that stuff, but I'm such a fan of Splinter Cell that I was like, oh, that's unfortunate. I think I would have liked that big reveal to happen naturally at E3. But
yeah, I think so too. But I mean, I guess from like an actual marketing standpoint, it's probably not going to sway buyers one way or the other, right?
Right.
How much do you think it's really going to change the hype? If you were starting to get excited about it. And like, I hope they announce it. And oh, Walmart told me. Well, I'm not going to buy it now.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have any gameplay. We don't have any screenshots. We don't have anything other than it's probably coming out, which we kind of were already there, right? I mean, we may have even talked about it.
Yes, so I think in the end, I think you're right. Like, I don't think it is that huge of a deal. And I'm such a fan of Splinter Cell, and I've played all of them, that it wouldn't, somebody could literally walk up, somebody from Ubisoft could punch me in the mouth and tell me it was the worst game ever, and to get out of here. They could like Harry and the Hendersons me and try to like get me off the porch, and I'd still come crawling back with $60 to buy it. I love Splinter Cell so much.
I would do the same thing, right? I mean, and I don't think finding out this way, it's not like there's anything where it gives doubt to the development. Like, there's nothing that shakes my faith in it.
Yeah, I guess I just felt bad for Ubisoft, because they had clearly like had this cool plan of like doing an unexpected reveal with Wildlands and then kind of leading up to it. I just felt bad that they kind of got shit on for something that they really were taking their time with and doing right, I think.
Well, I mean, Sony's getting paid, right, to do this whole campaign, and they're probably really like feeling like shit right now. Like, I had a whole plan, and they're complaining to their wives, and understandable, right? I mean, this is their job. They may not even be like players. This marketing campaign thing and this whatever their picture is, big picture plan, this was it. And some jackass just ruined it for them in their mind.
I think it was Layman Gaming, the Skill Up guy and his brother or whatever. They did a pretty funny thing, and they were like, well, if you imagine the person at Walmart who in the middle of the night's probably uploading product to a website, he's like, okay, Phillips head screwdriver SKU, I'll add that. Like, flashing light toy car, I'll add that. Cyberpunk 2077 PS4 game, okay, I'll add that. And he just like, unbeknownst to him, he was uploading all this stuff that he like shouldn't have been ahead of time, but pretty funny. Yeah.
I was interested to see the Halo 6 on there. It's been a few years since Halo 5.
Yeah, and I thought I remembered like after 3 or something that like they were like, okay, this is Master Chief's final thing, and I thought at some point they said they were going to kind of let it go, or this was the big finale, or at some installment.
No, I mean, they kind of, I think, have alluded to that a couple times, especially after like Bungie stopped making it, and it's just been
343.
But even Halo 5, I played it and beat it. It was clearly ending with a continued
to the next. Okay,
yeah, I mean,
it was a pretty big franchise. I mean, they've said the same thing with Uncharted, and now there's rumors of an Uncharted 5, and it looks like they set it up for it to continue without Nate Drake and all that kind of stuff. But they've said like I think they said after 3, like no more of these, and then they came back and did 4, and they're like, this is his end, and then they're clearly doing another one. It's kind of the same deal,
which is fine, right?
Yeah,
I mean, some of these series, that's why we play them.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't have an Xbox right now, but I don't really want Halo to end.
Yeah,
I've played all of them up to this point.
Right. At this point, asking for Halo to end is like asking for Mario to go away or asking for Zelda to go away. Master Chief is an institution of gaming at this point. Yeah.
So they're going to adapt him going forward one way or the other. And even though they like in this last one, Halo 5, they brought in new heroes and a different team, and some of them were like old returning characters. I don't know that anybody's going to be able to like, you can't have Halo without Chief, I think.
Right.
And they certainly didn't tee it up the way Uncharted did. Like Uncharted seemed like they're handing it off, right? They did not do that at the end of Halo 5. So
yeah, I don't know how you could do Halo. Is Master Chief and Halo are synonymous. I don't know. I don't know. I thought that about Uncharted, I guess, until they really like did it in a very thoughtful way.
Well, maybe they could, but I don't know that fans of the series.
But I don't. He's a treasure hunter. Okay, like we can introduce another treasure hunter over time with these. And well, it was such a character heavy thing. I mean, Matt, I don't know. I don't see it with Halo. You are Master Chief, and that is Halo.
Right. If you play Halo 5...
Well, they did ODST and Reach, and you weren't Master Chief, and that was fun.
It was fun, but would you permanently accept it? Yeah, in fact, in Halo 5, Buck from ODST, Nathan Fillion's character, is one of the main dudes on the other team. It's like they knew people were going to be pissed that you weren't playing as Master Chief, so they got Nathan Fillion's character to always be there with you when you weren't playing as Master Chief. And when I was talking to my brother, who's a big Halo fan, his first comment was, good, you better get more Master Chief time in this one. I don't know if he speaks for everyone, but that's probably a pretty common sentiment.
I would guess so.
And Borderlands 3, I mean, we've been talking about how that's probably inevitable as well, right?
There have been like hints that is coming for, I think, a while. I don't think anyone's surprised by that being on this like leak list. I think everyone was kind of expecting to see something at this E3.
Yeah, so I think in some ways it could even work out better if people are just like, now I want to hear.
Yeah.
People may even be like seeking out information more so, or be more targeted in like their research as E3 comes out.
So the one I was interested to hear your thoughts on was, because you're a big Super Smash Brothers fan, is that was on that list. Do you think that's actually a new installment, or is it a port?
Oh yeah, that's the argument that's been going on.
And this didn't clear any of that up.
No,
right?
It didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, gosh, that teaser, it's kind of funny to see, like,
because the teaser gave away basically nothing.
No,
right?
You basically know that there's going to be some new characters. They showed that there's the Splatoon guys. They intentionally zoomed in on Link being Breath of the Wild Link.
Yeah. So, but I mean, and we were talking a little bit about this before. Maybe we can just kind of bridge over to this. Is that the Wii, the Switch is bringing over a lot of Wii U games, and no one seems to care. It's not Nintendo's not getting any flack for it being lazy or if it being this. So the Super Smash thing, it could very easily be they bring it over and add a couple new characters. They bring over the Wii U version.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit. So Wii U came out with Donkey Kong Country Freeze, which is hard as hell, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've heard good things though. I've heard it's a good game.
It was fun. I couldn't beat it. I mean, it was hard.
Really?
I probably could have. My wife and I bought it and it ended up being out of her league. I mean, it wasn't something she was willing to put in the die over and over again and learn the pattern. Right. And I was like, I don't really want to pursue this by myself. Right. So, I mean, we didn't. But it looks cool. They added like other Kongs, but it is still the game. Yeah. It's just like a deluxe version. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. That's all that really was. Mm-hmm. And I have it now on the Switch that I swore I was like, I'm not going to do that. And I am doing it. Right. But they're doing it with Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. And they're doing it successfully. I bought Mario Kart again. I'm going to buy Hyrule Warriors again to play with my son.
So do you think people don't mind because people who weren't into the Wii U or they didn't make the jump from Wii to Wii U, they didn't ever play those games. And so, but a lot of those people who weren't in that Wii U generation now purchase Switches. So maybe that's why there's not the backlash, is because those games never reached that audience.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I think the people who played it on Wii U are the more kind of dedicated fans. Right. And I wouldn't have considered myself one, but I kind of am falling into that, you know, and they're the people who are probably going to play it anyway. And some of these games came out years ago. Like when I played Mario Kart, I didn't have children when it first came out. I didn't have kids. Yeah. And now I have a 5-year-old who's wanting to play, and I have a 3-year-old who's wanting to play.
And it's like a whole new fresh experience, probably playing with your kids instead.
Yeah, it's completely different. Yeah. And honestly, if it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't have repurchased it. Yeah. And Hyrule Warriors is the same thing. My older son was too young to play it. Yeah. And I was playing it with my wife. But now my older son loves Zelda. He's been playing through Breath of the Wild, and he was like, there's another Zelda game? Dad, we got to play it. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, well, sure, I'll play through it again.
And those games are great. And they're so button mashy. They are probably just fine for a kid of his age. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been playing Fire Emblem Warriors pretty well. Yeah. So I think he's going to love Hyrule Warriors. So, I mean, there's that too, right? Life has changed. Maybe people are viewing this as more of a family console. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think it's exactly what you said. I think the dedicated fans are finding reasons to go back through it. And then there's so many people playing the Switch now that think this is a brand new game, probably. They're like, oh, I never played this. This is sweet. And I
do think Nintendo games in general, the proprietary Nintendo games, do hold up more over time. People have the desire to go back and play them more so than a lot of other consoles.
Yeah, so after saying all of that, I think Smash Brothers may be an exception. Okay. The fans that follow Smash Brothers are dedicated. Yeah. I mean, they fight in fighting tournaments still. They're hardcore for the most part. They get tattoos.
They're about due for like a real new full installment of Smash, but they're about due for like another real big title on the Switch. They need something to carry forward into the holidays and through the summer.
Yeah. So while it is a port, I think it'll still sell, but I think you'll see some backlash, especially from like the dedicated Smash Brothers fans. I would be a little disappointed. I probably wouldn't freak out because actually I think the Wii U Smash has been a great iteration. I think it's a lot better than Brawl, which was the one on the Wii. Right. Melee is still often like considered the best one.
The Q one?
Yeah, the one on GameCube. Yeah. But I thought Wii U Smash Brothers was really good. I mean, if they add a bunch of stuff to it, I won't freak out, but I could see backlash.
I think if they add and which clearly they're doing, if they added characters into it and stuff like that, I think it would probably do fine.
Yeah, so I mean, if it is a new one, I hope it's like a good roster and all that shit. I'd rather be a deluxe old one with expanded cool, like I want tons of characters.
Some new maps, some new characters.
Right. Than a new one that's only got like 8 fighters, 4 maps, whatever. That's like a lot more limited. And then now I have to do the DLC thing the whole time. I don't know. I'm excited to hear about it, but you know, I'm not, dude, there's people with like microscopes and shit. They're like, okay, I looked at the outline. People are very dedicated to the forensics of figuring that.
People People are nuts about Smash, dude.
Yeah,
It's
they're
crazy.
very dedicated. So that's why I'd be concerned for Nintendo.
Yeah.
I think they get a lot of backlash if it's just a port, but we'll have to see. Speaking of the Nintendo Switch though, what do you think about the online subscription thing? So I'll tell you what I know. It's $4 a month, $20 a year.
Yeah.
Which is a lot cheaper than PlayStation or Xbox Live. It comes with cloud saves, which is I've seen a lot of people freaking out about that. Is that a big deal that you get cloud saves?
Oh, that you can do it?
You can back them up on the cloud?
You know, I didn't used to think so, but until, I guess just gaming over here, we record this podcast at Robbie's house, and we game over here before we start recording, and cloud saves are pretty freaking handy, man. Like, to just, like, be able to upload it in, and then I can log into my profile over here, and then grab that save or whatever, if it's not something already cloud-based or whatever, but so I think it probably, I don't know if it's a big deal, but it's one of those like quality of life conveniences that's, oh, of course we want that. Yeah, like that should have existed already.
Okay, so maybe I'm a dummy because maybe I'm missing something, but I get that, right? For a console like a PlayStation. But isn't the whole point of a Switch that you take it with you?
Yeah.
If I brought my Switch to your house, isn't my save still local on my Switch? Why do I need,
well,
I mean,
some
are
people
Switch
are like
players
really hardcore about...
Are Switch players really logging into other people's Switches all that often? Or aren't you taking your Switch with you?
I mean, if we were more hardcore Nintendo people or whatever, yeah, I mean, like I could see doing that, like uploading all my stuff to the cloud from my Switch. If we wanted to play on one TV over here, and I didn't want to haul my whole Switch over here or whatever. Like,
but hauling your whole Switch,
I
this
know
isn't
how it
like
sounds.
the game we were
I
just
know
talking
how it
about.
sounds.
This isn't putting your cartridges in a duffel bag.
I know, but if we just wanted to play off your
N64.
Switch, 2 controllers, keep it simple, it would be, and like it's already saved to the cloud. Like why wouldn't you do that?
Because they've marketed the whole.
I know,
system.
but we talked on our last episode. I am with you. I'm just devil's advocate here. We talked on our last one about how it's like too much work to swap out a disc. Now we just want to, like, I do anyway, like want to push the PlayStation button, close application, and open another one. It's kind of the same thing. It's like,
but I would think with the Switch, I would be too lazy to sign into your shit. I'd be like, no, I'm just gonna bring it.
It is a little, but it's almost, it is almost like they're undermining their own marketing proposition of play with a friend and it goes anywhere. And whatever.
I think because I've seen feedback, people are like, fucking finally, cloud saves on the Switch. So I clearly don't get it. So if you, whatever I'm missing, please email us, because I am missing why this is so cool. Other than just a general nice to have thing, I don't know why it's really that positive.
I guess the other, like if you were playing through, this is just benefit of doubt here. If you were playing through like something like Snipper Clippers, right?
Yeah.
And you were playing together on one console, and you progressed through it, and then and you wanted to like upload that progress and then get it on your other console or whatever.
Yeah,
something
like you were playing
that,
locally co-op, and then you wanted to take it back home. Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean,
it's like not that strong of a. I don't think it's a big deal. I think it's probably a quality of life thing.
It's got to be. To me, I just can't think of anything. I guess we don't do a lot of local co-op Switch, but I would think if you did, you would bring your own Switch. That's what they show in the ads that I still think are weird.
I've never done it, but they do connect. If you have 2 Switches side by side, it'll like Bluetooth or whatever the hell the technology is. Right?
Yeah, I saw Mario Kart has the setup. So
you would think you would do it that way.
I think I'm missing something on that one. I'm not as blown away by that. Though, the online service, getting like discounts, online play for a much cheaper price is cool. And then the other cool thing, if you're into like retro gaming, it does give you access to some of the NES classics.
But not a full virtual console thing and all that stuff. And you know what? I'm really on that. I am happy they're finally sort of leaving that behind a little bit. Like it is cool. Like they released the NES Classic, they released the SNES Classic. I think it's sort of time to just move into the future with that Nintendo shit. Yeah.
I don't know. I think if people are willing to pay money for it,
I guess,
then let them have it.
I guess.
It depends. Like if it's really not that hard of a lift, this goes back to my Nintendo doesn't like money thing. Like I don't understand why you'd be like, well, we're not doing the full virtual.
Yeah.
Why the fuck wouldn't you? You own all maybe it's more complicated.
I would well, I don't know. I mean, I was about to equate it to like a big band playing like their old songs and stuff like that and playing them over and over and over and over. And
get the fuck over it if you're that band.
And eventually, eventually,
that's what people want to hear.
That's what and then as I was coming out of my mouth, I was like, they go and they play the songs and they
Freebird.
collect their paycheck.
Yeah, exactly. And if you don't like it, go do a different job.
And I think I've even heard interviews where where the musicians are like, that's why they came to see you.
Yes.
Like no one gives a shit what you think. They paid money to see something, you need to deliver it.
If you want to go make your like album, that's cool. But if you're going on tour,
having said that, like that's not why I bought a Switch. So I don't know.
I'm not saying
it's not
make
the
it
hit.
just.
That's not the hit I showed up to hear.
That's fine. fine. And I don't go back and play those. Like,
Yeah.
I've barely touched my SNES Classic that my son has. That being said, if people are willing to pay money for it, like, and it doesn't really cut away from you making they're making great games.
Yeah.
So by no means, I would rather play Mario Odyssey than go back and play Mario 64.
Right.
So I'm not saying I would rather go play the old stuff, but if it's there, aren't you just kind of turning down money?
Yeah. Actually, I would have paid like $5 or $10 for like
Banjo-Kazooie?
Actually, yes.
Yeah.
Or Link to the Past, I was going to say, to have it on the Switch. I probably
I don't know. It just seems
and not even like a subscription and to have like the thing. I would have paid $10 to have that game on my Switch, probably.
Right.
Yeah.
And I have Link to the Past sitting in my closet, but I would.
It would be nice to play it on the Switch specifically.
It is. I've bought Super Mario RPG.
That's a tough one because the portability, like to be able to have access to all of that stuff in your hand with the Switch. Okay, all right, I'm on board. You convinced me.
Well, it doesn't matter. They've already said they're not going to do it.
Damn it.
So get in line with the pissed off fanboys.
Yeah, they might cave after a little while.
Depends on how broke they get, I guess. So, not necessarily to do with the Switch, but I was looking at some sales numbers, projected sales numbers, that the PlayStation is this last year sold twice what the Xbox pulled down.
Yeah.
In consoles.
And I really don't mean this flippantly because I did buy an Xbox One pretty early on and I liked the controller. I thought it was a good console for the most part. There is no reason to own one. There is zero reason to own one to me, unless you're a really big Halo fan. That's the only reason.
There are,
Gears of War and Halo is it. Like, that's all they have.
So I should say, too, like, we're not Sony ponies per se. Like, it seems like this generation, we've both pretty much...
Yeah, we were talking about it the other night, actually, and we go with the console that we think is the best for that generation. I do anyway. Like, I was hardcore Xbox over PlayStation for a little while, and then there was a little switch over to PS2. PS2 then after that.
We kind of did 50-50 for the Xbox PlayStation 2.
But then like full on Xbox 360. 360 versus
360.
PS3, dude, like it was
hands down.
The Xbox 360 was the better console.
Yep.
And this generation, it's PS4, hands down.
Yeah, I think, and it doesn't matter where you fall. I actually really liked the Xbox as a console.
Yeah.
I actually preferred it more than the PS4. But the exclusives, man, on PS4
You can't beat
this
them.
gen are just insane. I mean, I don't really play as much. I played Halo 5 and was... After I beat it, the multiplayer didn't grab me as much, and I was kind of okay with getting rid of it.
So it is gonna be interesting to see, talking about E3, like going into that, like what Microsoft's position is going to be on all of that. Because last year they were all about the Xbox One X, and we have the most powerful console and all that stuff. And everybody, like at least over the past year, has collectively, slowly gone whoop-de-doo. Who gives a shit? Where are the games?
Well, and so I was having a debate with a coworker who was a big Xbox fan, and he was saying, "This is it. The Xbox One X." It's gonna, it's better than the PS4 Pro.
It is, and it's amazing.
Yeah, it is. And I gotta say, I was like, well, that's cool, man. I'm like, I'm happy for you. He's like, this is it. They're gonna blow it to shit. And I was like, well, how many people out there are looking at their PS4 libraries and seeing everything they have at this point in the game, and they're like, I'm gonna throw it all away. And I think I may have even said on the podcast, like, I don't think people are willing to just throw that away for a more powerful console.
If there was one other argument for Xbox, is they do their little backward compatibility library thing, and it does look insanely good. That is a good reason, actually, probably to get an Xbox.
I almost didn't get rid of my Xbox for that reason.
Yeah.
But mine was having like some physical issues, and I just was tired of.
But for like current gen, like what's coming out now, what are we getting excited about? Xbox is just like, it's crickets over there.
Yeah. It's interesting because, so basically my point of bringing this up wasn't to shit all over Microsoft, though that's where the game's
No,
at right
and to be fair, I would love it. We were talking about like the next generation of consoles, and that's probably still like a ways out. Yeah. I would love it if Xbox came back with something just mind blowing and a crazy lineup of first party games, and just it switched back the other way, because that's competition and that's healthy. And I would love to see that, and I would be happy to buy an Xbox in that generation.
Yeah, and I think both of us would be open to
absolutely,
going back
100%.
to Team Microsoft. But I was just, not surprised, but a little sad for Microsoft that the Xbox One X didn't really change up the game for them. It was a bold move, but I think it was too little too late.
Yeah. Well, it's just, I don't know. It's like buying a really nice car because you can, and then you don't have a girlfriend and you don't have any friends, and it's like who cares?
Well, yeah, that's kind of where I was at on the Xbox. Yeah. My brother and I played together. That was it. And all my friends played on PS4, and I kind of got tired of having to choose to play with one person or the other.
Right.
It sucked. And so I ended up, kind of leaving that. On the positive note, though, if you are a Microsoft fan, they they have reported that like at the beginning of this year, they've gone up like 13% on online subscribers. They're at, I think I wrote it down. They're at 59 million live users. So that's pretty good.
Well, the big push they did at Christmas, like I almost thought about picking one up just because I was like, it was so cheap. Why would I not? It'll be nice to just have just in case, right? Like something good does come out, like Halo 6 or whatever, that it was like $189 for an Xbox One S or something like that. It's like so crazy of a deal. And I'm sure they moved a ton of units and they got a bunch of people into the Xbox family that way.
Yeah, and people subscribing to Xbox Live for that very reason. Though I'm still not really... Halo 6 probably won't be enough to bring me back.
Yeah, I would agree with that. You know, when Tomb Raider was exclusive, that was almost like one of those draws that, because I've been a fan of Tomb Raider for a long time, and the reboot just looked too good to pass up. And then I was like, they crossed it back over. And then anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, those things all have their day in the sun.
Yeah, they do.
Though, side note, I mean, Bungie is still getting exclusives on Sony.
Yeah.
They came out with this DLC, and they've got an exclusive Strike, and I think an exclusive Crucible map.
I feel bad, actually, on that one for people who... So it was 3 strikes that came out, and the 2 strikes are they're recycled from the missions, and they're turned into like a Strike version, and they didn't get the actual real Strike, which is pretty good, and only Sony got it.
Only Sony got it.
Xbox players got fucked.
But look,
hard on
guys,
that.
I mean, if you're an Xbox Destiny player, I feel you. I played year 1 Destiny 1, and I gotta say, I got tired of that bullshit, and as much as I hate it,
And when I first started playing on PlayStation, I'm like, oh, that one mission's really cool where you do the thing and you're like, that's Sony exclusive.
Sony exclusive. I mean, I feel bad. I'm not like, fuck those guys. Like, I think it's shitty that this happens.
That's brutal, dude, actually, for those.
That's rough.
It's like one of the best pieces of content out of the new DLC, I think, because it's a pretty good strike.
Yeah, my favorite gun from Destiny 1 was the Hawk Moon.
Yeah.
And the first year it was a Sony exclusive.
Yeah.
I got it switching to Sony and like never got rid of it. But there's a whole year I could have been using that gun that I still talk about.
Arbitrarily, it was held away from you.
Yep, just because of a licensing contract bullshit. So I feel for you guys if that's you, but just stop fighting it, honestly. I mean, come on. If you're really a good if you're a big Destiny player, I kind of think you should stop fighting it and just, pick your battles.
Just make the switch. It's a Destiny. Destiny is a PlayStation game.
If you're playing it that much, I think it's worth switching teams. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it really is.
Did you want to say anything about the Final Fantasy VII blip?
I think I said 20 episodes ago that the whole thing made me really, really nervous because I don't see how they can. It's such a legacy game from that era. It was so perfect.
Yes.
Trying to remake something like that. And from the test stuff, like the combat looked awesome. It was amazing to see those characters again, but I just don't see how they ever could do it. Like maintaining that magic and bringing all that forward without screwing it up. Yeah. And it seems to be that they are having trouble with it.
So from what I was reading, it was like another studio that they handed it off to.
Connect 2 or whatever.
CyberConnect 2. They didn't do a very good job, and so Square was like, fuck you, we're doing it in-house.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that they didn't just push it through. Like, I'd much rather see something, because to me, this is one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah.
I've been nervous about it, too.
Them bringing it in-house makes me nervous, too, because of the way so many of the modern Final Fantasies now are. I think they're going to inject a bunch of bullshit that I don't like from the newer Final Fantasy games. I don't think it's going to, I would love to be wrong, but at this point, I don't see how it could be good.
It's never going to replace, I don't think it'll ever replace, especially like just whatever phase of life you're in, and we've talked about this on like games that captured you at certain ages. Yeah. It'll never probably replace that, right? Those stars won't align again. But if they do a good job with it, I'm willing. I mean, I love playing through as Cloud, so.
I just can see them, like, we joked before about, like, they get out and make you push the train instead of it, like, roaring in and you jump off and go into combat.
I don't think they'll do that.
They're going to do something like that, I think. Not that specifically, not that extreme, but I'm really worried they're going to put that type of stuff in it.
I'm worried if you'll just be unable to go into a modern, like, there's something about the old, more traditional RPG that you were able to get on board with at that time in your life.
Right.
That I don't know that there's any way you could get on board with.
That's maybe that's it.
And so it doesn't matter what the game is. It could be one of the best games of all time. It could be a completely new original IP. I don't think you'd be able to get into it.
That's probably true.
So
I'm not the target audience.
You're not the target. You're not the target audience. I would rather it take longer and they do a better job, like we've said in other games. Yeah. I'm glad they took it away from these people. If it really is that bad. I guess 2 years of work might be kind of scrapped in some ways.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they hand over the assets and they use like what they can and maybe I don't know.
And I was reading like in some ways Tetsuya Nomura, is that his name, was saying that it's even further along than Kingdom Hearts 3 in some regards.
How is that possible?
That's what they were saying. It's not like they're starting over again. So there are parts of it that are scrapped, but it's still... And I think Kingdom Hearts 3 is supposed to come out later this year.
Okay.
Or maybe early next year. So, if it's even next year that it still comes out, even late next year, that's not too bad.
Right.
Is there anything else? Any other news you have?
Here's a juicy tidbit. Battlefield 1. It has some of the coolest freaking Easter eggs. And I was thinking about this just from like the Ready Player 1 and how cool the Easter awesome eggs. Ways those Easter eggs are hidden inside of the Oasis and stuff in Ready Player 1. And Battlefield actually does that, I think, better than anybody. So there was this level that like you would go down to the basement and there was just this door down there with like boxes barricaded against it, and you would hear like zombies and people getting ripped apart and stuff inside. Yeah. And nobody knew what it was. Have you heard about all of this? No. Okay.
I knew about the Megalodon one from Battlefield 4.
Yeah. Okay, so and then there's like a word up above it that's like isolation in French or something like that. So these dudes, there's a whole Discord channel for it that are like these Battlefield Easter egg hunters. They're like sort of like Gunters from Ready Player 1. It's really interesting. They went and found like these correlations to the different signs all around the map, and they noticed that there was markings on the letters of the signs, and then if you hit them, you meleeed them, the signs would fall off and there was buttons behind them, and then so you hit them in order to spell out isolation, and then went back to the room. And then the door like opened and you went in and it was empty, but you'd hear footsteps of somebody running in. And then they went in and there's like these different valves, and then there's a little hole in the ground, and there's blood on the wall. It looks like somebody got executed, and then a horse painting, and it's all inexplicable. And there's some sort of puzzle now with the valves and the pipes in the ceiling and the hole in the ground, and people are still trying to crack it. And it took people a year to figure out even just how to open the door. It's so freaking cool, dude.
Wow.
Just like treasure hunter-y stuff.
Dude, so this is still ongoing.
Yeah, so people just figured out how to open the door.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So I guess there's like a dripping in there, and you go in and it's like, and somebody was like, oh, it's probably Morse code.
Dude.
And so they did the Morse code of it, and it was ea.com/whatever. And if you go to it, it just says May 25th, 2018, #Battlefield. And so it's like, it's teasing the release or the announcement of like what their next game installment's going to be.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And so it's been in the game for a while, and people have been trying to figure this out. And I guess there's more to the secret that people haven't figured out yet, and maybe that's it. Maybe it was just a very elaborate tease for their reveal date or something. But it was so cool, man. It just reminded me of
really cool.
treasure hunting, Ready Player 1 kind of stuff.
Damn.
Really awesome.
No, I did not know about that.
Yeah.
That's cool that they would, it's cool that there are people dedicated enough to hunt that down. I'm always impressed.
Yeah, check out the Discord channel. It's really insane. How you feeling about Star Wars Battlefront Han Solo?
I think it'll be cool.
Season 2's all Han Solo themed.
Yeah, I think it'll be cool. It'll be a fun reason to fire it up again.
Yeah.
I know there was a lot of hate. I kind of enjoyed it, but
they're definitely not giving up on it, which is that's
what I was worried about. So I'm excited to see kind of what they do and have reasons to play it. I've been playing it a little bit recently, and I'm kind of still not used to like the systems. I kept like trying to look up like how the new abilities work, and I was a little confused by it. But at the end of the day, it's just fun to go shoot people in the Star Wars universe. Yeah. And it's
just the sounds and stuff, man, is so...
The gunplay is tight, the sounds are great, it's a beautiful looking game, so, any excuse I have to fire it up and shoot stormtroopers again.
I played it when it first came out, and then I ended up, like, wiping it off my hard drive because I never played it, and then I was reading about this Han Solo stuff, and I was like, okay, I'm coming back, I'm gonna give this another shot. It looks pretty cool, the maps look good.
We had some really good Heroes vs. Villains runs.
Yeah, it's a fun game. It really is, after all the controversy dust settled and stuff.
Yeah, so hopefully and I hope that like enough people play that they'll continue doing these cool like support patches,
the season content that's themed and stuff.
I like it. Last Jedi content too.
Yeah,
and that was pretty. It was cool. They put Finn in the game. And
it's free. Phasma. You know what I mean? I mean, like Wildlands stuff. It's like a little small chunk, but it's a reason to come back and dive into the game a little bit for a couple weeks or a month or whatever.
Yeah, I'm curious now though with the way that they've changed like the loot box system. Mm-hmm. I don't know how it's going to make money going forward. I think there are still some microtransactions you can do, but it's supposed to be for like cosmetic stuff going forward.
Right. I don't think they completely got rid of loot boxes, right? They just sort of restructured it.
Kind of. You get like a daily loot box. You don't spend real money on them anymore.
Oh, okay.
It's like they've changed it to cosmetic stuff.
Gotcha.
But it seems like since that wasn't the original intent, they're still kind of building that out. Like I know that they added Ewoks, I think, too.
Okay.
Recently there's like an Ewok campaign. So yeah, I'm still kind of figuring it out myself, but it's a fun game. So.
It really is a tough line. I mean, like, I think people are right for freaking out and slapping the hands of the publishers and stuff, to some degree, but it is now that that's becoming the expectation of like, I want to pay $60 and I want to play this game for 4 years with ongoing support and free content. And it's like, there has to be some sort of monetization along the way. Right. And it's, once again, like as E3 rolls around, it's going to be interesting to see how developers and publishers continue to deal with that, I think.
Yeah. I actually did see an article about like EA is coming out and defending like loot boxes, especially in FIFA, which if you listen to our sports episode with Diego, I learned there was some pretty crazy loot box stuff.
Yeah.
And they've come out and, like, because there's now legislation that might be coming down.
Belgium is
them.
like wants to throw them in jail and stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah. So like EA's like kind of standing their ground and arguing what is gambling. And so, yeah, it will be interesting. I
don't remember if I said this on the podcast, but I found this really interesting article about trading cards. And they were saying that it was sort of the same deal. It was like these 5 players guaranteed plus 1 mystery character or something like that. And kids would just buy packs and packs and packs and packs of cards trying to get that one thing. Yeah. And it went to court like over like, this is gambling and you're getting kids to throw their money at it for a random chance. This is gambling. And courts upheld that it was not gambling. Yeah. So,
well, they still do that with like Pokemon trading cards.
Yeah. So, and it's been like, this isn't the first time that's been put up, and it usually gets determined legally that it is not definitively like gambling. Right. So I don't know. I think,
but internationally, you never know the way that Belgian courts hold against, EA.
Well, and you never know. I mean, sometimes right place, right time. Someone just wants to string someone up to make an example, and something slips.
A good lawyer makes a good argument.
Yeah.
Someone creative. Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what happens with it. Yeah. You got any other juicy tidbits for us today?
No, I think I'm all juiced out today. I don't think I have any more tidbits.
Okay.
I don't know if we'll do an episode about E3, but we'll definitely do one post E3.
Yeah.
We might do one leading up. There's a lot of interesting stuff coming down the pipe, so it might be worth talking about.
Yeah.
As it gets a little bit closer.
Yeah. E3 speculation, man. It's fun. It is fun. It's like whatever preseason, I guess, for like sports fans about who's going to get who and what's going to happen. It's probably that type of feeling. It's just fun.
There is a degree of meaninglessness to it.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
to even listen back to and be like, well, we were wrong about all that shit. I mean, how much of our We Were Wrong episode was like E3 speculation stuff, but it's still, you can't help it, right? When you're an enthusiast in these things, you can't help it, like be forward thinking and be curious about the future.
I mean, you're thinking about it, you're talking about it with your friends all the time and stuff, and it's like, yeah. Thank you for listening to Save Every Universe. If you enjoyed this episode, please go give us a review on iTunes. And let us know if you enjoyed this format of just kind of rapping about the news once in a while. We might make it like a once a month thing. Save Every Universe at gmail.com.